YouTube tonight only. Those who want to join me, please do join me. I do appreciate everybody joining me on the platform. Please share the broadcast. Help us with more people. You are listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. We're almost 7,000 subscribers, and we're grateful for your support. 6.9. Please help us with more people. I know it's a late one today, but I needed to talk about this because it's very, very important what I wanted to talk about. And I do hope that many people will be joining in. This is terrible what you can see. Sorry a minute. I'm just going to mute this one. So basically tonight, it is very much a problem. It is really a problem. What is going on, and I want to touch on it. Not touch on it. I want to really speak about it. Good evening and welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I've been away for a few days, but I'm grateful for those of you joining us. Help us with more people. Go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. I'm going to be doing a lot of work, behind the scenes as I'm talking to you to try and get people to join and share. So you can do the same for me. Help us by subscribing, sharing the platform, getting this to as many people as possible. We're going to talk about the issue of insecurity in Nigeria, and I have I don't know if you've seen the write-up. What I've said is, for me as an African right now, one of the pressing things that we need to do, we need to ban the religions of Islam and Christianity in Africa. Well, certainly in Nigeria, we need to ban it. Now, the reason I'm saying this is it has got to desperation point now. It has got to the point now where there's too many killings going on every day. The amount of videos, I'm looking at a picture right now, and if you see in the background of my front picture, if you see the picture that you see in the background, you will see that there's a picture of a man, but I've got the picture here. Greetings and welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. And in that picture, they've basically hacked the man to death at the back of his head. But I cannot show you that picture. Courtesy of Alaji English. It's horrifying. It is just inhuman. And this is being done in the name of Islam. This is being done in the name of Islam. And I'm going to say it again, and I will keep saying this over and over. I'm going to read you something about the memoirs of a guy called Hemfer, Hemfer, and the plan, how the colonial structures, the European colonials used this twisted Islam to suit their own purposes. Hi, no doctor for yet. Baby foods eat. Thank you. Hi, greetings and welcome. So please, as you're coming in, please do share this broadcast. It's really important. We need your support tonight. Help us with more people. Our goal is to really get to 10,000 subscribers. We're about 6,900. We need to get to 10,000. So we're like, how many? 900. We're about just about 70 or 80, 90 something away from 7,000 subscribers. So with your help, we can really get there. Please subscribe, hit the notification button, and give us thumbs up. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because there is no point in hiding this now. It is a genocide going on in Nigeria. The amount of people being killed every day. Some people are even some reports. Subscribe, share, and hit notification button. And hit notification so that when you come on, you can see it next time. Button. Okay. So 1 second, give me a minute. It's taking me a while to really I didn't want to come and do the broadcast today, but I felt I needed to come in and do that. So hi there. Thank you very much. Please subscribe. You are listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. As you're coming in, subscribe, hit the notification button, give us thumbs up, help us with more people. And I'll endeavor to be doing as much broadcasting on here as much as possible. Sometimes even 3 or 4 times a day where possible. It depends on how we're doing things. And like I said, TikTok and Facebook are not really conducive to what we're doing. They seem to be blocking and banning and everything else, but it doesn't matter. Now, like I said, there are pictures that I'm seeing here. I've just told you about one where you can see they severed the head of somebody off. And this, we need to understand something. These religions, the religions of Islam, is particularly the Wahhabism. The Wahhabism is the Saudi Arabia arm of this Islam that has been corrupted. And what they do is they say you have to be you need to follow the strictest form of Islam. There's no questions about it. Now, the question is this. When those African countries have left, this is not just, there's about 12 or 13 African countries, many African countries, that have basically just said, oh, Islam, you can come to my country, you can send, if you want to come and teach our people about Islam, send a scholarship, we'll say they can go, they are free to do that. They are not thinking about what impact this religion, hi there, Robert to edit, thank you very much. They're not thinking about the impact of this religion on their communities. And many of the imams, please, I need you to understand this. Many of the imams that are going to Saudi Arabia, and when they get scholarship, they get funded. They are getting money to promote this barbaric. We are talking about Islam and Christianity and the need for us to reject Sharia law. There is a genocide going on in Nigeria right now. There is a genocide going on in Nigeria. I kid you not. There is a genocide going on that is being perpetuated under Islam, and we are trying to raise awareness. Our people are just basically trying to survive in very difficult situation. 1 second, please. I just want to answer somebody. Okay. So, okay. So, like I said, there's a genocide going on right now. My uncle is being said. Yes, look, the thing is this. This is not trying to be difficult or trying to cast aspersions about the place. But the fact of the matter is we need to understand as Africans, from an African perspective, the longer we allow Islam to spread on the African continent, it is spreading hate, it is spreading death and destruction. And it is serving only one purpose, to keep our people blind from benefiting from their own resources. So we need to come out and speak about this. And in Nigeria, I can speak certainly about Nigeria. And this is having a massive detrimental effect on the development of even the people that are practicing the Islam. It is having a massive detrimental impact on their lives. So we are coming out now and we're saying, this Islam, many of you would have heard Ibrahim Traore, Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. He said that he rejects. Captain Ibrahim Traore said, yes, you need to raise your voice. Exactly. Ibrahim Traore said he does not accept Sharia law. He does not accept Sharia law in Burkina Faso. And the reason why is because those clerics that have been going, thank you very much for the thumbs up as you're watching. Give us a thumbs up, help us share the broadcast. You are, of course, listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. The clerics, they are being funded to spread this Wahhabism. What is Wahhabism? Let me read that to you. I want to educate a little bit more, because some people may not fully understand why we are so anti this, what is going on, why we are so adamant that this Islam on the African continent is bringing nothing but death and destruction. And as Africans who want to see an Africa develop, we cannot have it on our continent. Likewise, Christianity. And I'll go into detail about that. Wahhabism. So I want to just talk about Wahhabism and what it means briefly, so you know an idea. So what is Wahhabism? Wahhabism is simply the doctrine of practicing the old style Islam, whereby you have to follow it, that you cannot celebrate, you cannot do anything, you cannot, you have to follow what the book said to the letter, and you are not allowed to live a life, to smile, to celebrate, to do anything, so, and the name of the man who brought this idea up was called Wahhab, something al-Wahhab. Let me just see. Let me just go and bring that to you. So Wahhabism is a strict puritanical reform movement within Sunni Islam, founded in the 18th century by Muhammad ibn Abd al-Wahhab in the Najd region of Arabia. It calls for a literal interpretation of Quran and Hadith, an absolute focus on God's oneness. So you can get an idea now that what they're doing here, what is being practiced, this is brainwashing. Africans, we have our own spirituality. Africa is not Africa is not a place where we don't have our own way of doing things. We are connected to the moon and the stars. Our ancestral belief system, Isheshe, the Dogon Empire, the Oyo Empire. We in Yoruba land, for example, we have 4 days a week, and all of it is dedicated to honoring our deities. Ogun, Eshu, Obatala, and all of those things. And each of 4 days, and those 4 days translated in the olden days, they translated to 28 days a month, which meant in the old Yoruba calendar, we had 13 months. What does our African religion do? They follow. We have a spirituality. We don't call it religion. I don't know about religion. I know about spirituality, African spirituality. It's connecting to our ancestors. We speak to our ancestors. We remember the greatness of our great kingdoms. Our ancestors built the kingdoms that the world marvel about. So that's who we are. And we have been, this stuff to do with Allah. No. Allah doesn't, I don't know about Allah. Sorry, Robert to edit. Fine, if he may love, but what we are seeing on the African soil right now is hate. There is genocide in Nigeria right now. That is the reality of it. People don't want you to talk about this, but that's the reality. There's genocide, and we are here to raise the awareness. As I speak to you today, there has been several people who have been killed. There's a picture I'm watching right now. There's about 20 to 30 people that have been slaughtered, literally slaughtered by bandits who will say, and every time they're slaughtering, they say, Allahu Akbar. That's what they're saying. They are saying Allahu Akbar as they are slaughtering the people. And they say they are following Islam. Anytime a religion is about killing the people who are in that community, that is a dangerous religion. That has no right to be on the African soil. And the people who are being taught this are children, they're young men. They're being influenced to follow this Wahhabism. Now, Wahhabism and Sharia law, they say you have to follow Sharia law. We are not Saudi Arabians. We are Africans. If Saudi Arabians want to follow Sharia law in Saudi Arabia, fine, go and do that. But to have people go to Saudi Arabia exporting this Wahhabism has caused untold death and destruction to many Africans on the African continent. And let's not even talk about the fact that what is horrifying for me is that many of these the Africans don't even understand that the Wahhabism that they're going to teach, that, you know, the Arabs don't like black people. They don't. That's the reality of it. So when you're going to practice something, for example, in Gaza, they call where black people stay, they call it, I'll give you the name in a minute. So it's a crowded, a slave village. Al-Abid, Al-Herat Abid. Let me have a look. I'll just give you that name quickly. So a lot of Africans are misinformed. This Wahhabism is a danger to the existence of Africans on the African continent. It is causing untold damage in Sudan. It is causing untold damage in, you know, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in wherever this religion is being practiced. It is bringing death and destruction. And that is why Ibrahim Traore said, I will not allow any cleric to be sponsored to go to Saudi Arabia to learn about, to be taught about Wahhabism, the strictest form of Wahhabism, and then come back to Burkina Faso to preach it. He will not allow it. Because what they've done is they're destroying our communities. They say, oh, because you're not following the law, they've given themselves the power that belongs to the government. And they are telling the government, no, they must follow what Allah says. This is brainwashing. This is brainwashing. And it is causing, I'm looking at pictures now. I can't show you, because if I show you, my page will be brought down. I can't show you I mean, I'll just describe. They've literally almost near enough hacked off the head of a guy from the back. And it's open like this. And it's horrifying. Horrifying, but I can't show you. I can't show you. And this is happening every day, every day, every day, every day. So we must come out and call and expose the hypocrisy of the clerics. These clerics are receiving money from Saudi Arabia from the days when Abu Bakr Gumi, the father to Ahmad Gumi, went to Saudi Arabia. Oh, we want to spread Wahhabism in Nigeria. They have been funding, and across Africa now, they've been funding all of these clerics. But the clerics don't tell you that they're receiving money. They're getting money. Ibrahim Traore said it. They're getting money to spread hate. And when they spread the hate, the people of the several communities are being killed. I'm going to quickly show you something. Where was I going to? I'm going to read this to you. I wanted to read that thing that I was talking about, and you will see it. I want to show you where they... And many people don't understand that Islam was used to enslave black people. I kid you not. Let me read this to you. I'll read this to you. You know, the Arabs, they killed black people. You know, they raped, they castrated, they enslaved in the name of Islam. Now, this is not about hate. I'm trying to get us to understand that when you say you are a Muslim, Arabs don't see you as equal Muslims to them. They see you as an abid, a slave. And they say slave quarters, headquarters. Let me just give that to you. I'll find that and you'll see it. So we have to really understand that as Africans, we can no longer tolerate this religion on the African continent. It is killing our people and it is stealing our resources. It is stealing our resources. So we are calling on the Nigerian government to take immediate action. Anybody. Yeah. Now, the name in Palestine, Arabs who are under persecution themselves, you won't believe this. They call where black people stay, the village they say, state, they call it Harat al-Abid. Harat al-Abid. That's what they call where black people stay. I'm giving you this information. I'm not here to spread hate. I'm here to educate us so that we black people We need to reconnect back to our ancestral belief, Eshu. You know, in Yoruba land, you know, Eshu is meant to work with Olodumare, the Most High. Is the God, is the connection between the earth, us, the earth, and Olodumare, the greater unseen power above. These are the things that we are talking about. You know, it is really, what is really sad is that these clerics, they keep saying to us that we are non-believers. And guess what? I need you to understand this. What the clerics are saying, that we are non-believers, is exactly the same thing Christianity has been doing from day one. From day one, Christianity said we are kafirs, we are non-believers. And because we are non-believers, they have the right to take our land. They have the right to enslave us in our land. It's exactly the same thing that Islam is doing right now. It's exactly, there's no difference. And what people need to understand, I'm saying this, is that this religion of Islam is a danger. Not only Islam, because Christianity, what Christianity has done, Christianity has, who are you fighting? I am fighting religions in Africa, not fighting them. I am saying that religions in Africa is a threat to the development of Africans, not just me. Ibrahim Traore said it. So let me see. I'm going to read something he said to you. Ibrahim Traore. Yeah? Traore rejects Sharia law. So, on the 23rd of July, I want to read this to you so you understand. On the 23rd of July, Burkina Faso leader Ibrahim Traore, yeah, rejects Sharia law, vows to support vocational education for youth despite religious affiliation. Burkina Faso's military government appears to have strengthened its commitment to religious freedom and the country's secular identity following the adoption of a new law regulating religious practice. In a speech seen online, Captain Ibrahim Traore rejected calls for the implementation of Sharia law. The video, which has circulated widely on Facebook, was republished by Pulse Nigeria, shows Traore addressing a gathering of religious education, foreign funding, and national sovereignty. Traore, a Muslim, he is a Muslim who has fought against Islamic extremist insurgency. Islamic extremist insurgency, and that is what we are talking about. The religion, those clerics, they are spreading Islamic extremist insurgency across Africa, not just in Nigeria alone. It's happening in Sudan. It's happening in there's so many places that it's happening across. It's happening in Mali, it's happening in Niger, happening in Burkina Faso, happening in Ghana, happening in Nigeria, happening in, you know, many countries, over 12 countries. Now let me just see Sharia law. I'm going to just start that. I want to list those countries for you. Sharia law in African countries. Yeah. So I want to just list the countries to you so you will know. Now, okay, let's have how many more? So, Somalia. Sharia law is going on in Somalia. It's going on in Sudan. Sharia is Somalia, Sudan, Nigeria, Kenya. So, Somali, Sudan, Nigeria, Kenya, Senegal, Burkina Faso, right? To name but a few. How many? In African countries. I just want to name them. But the reason why I'm doing this is to make sure we're calling the attention of Nigeria to what is going on right now in Nigeria. There's a genocide going on, and it's being perpetuated under the guise of this religion. And it is not only about Islam, but the colonials are using Islam to destabilize nations so they can come and take our resources. That is why France was kicked out by Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, because they were stealing the resources. Mali, the uranium for Niger was being taken at 70 cents in the euro, when the value of the uranium was 200 euros per kilo, and they were looting from them. So there is a collusion between the clerics, the, the Islam, and the colonial powers of Islam, of UK, France, and US, using religion of Islam to destabilize Africa so they can take the resources. And these are the things that we must speak up against. And the people of Africa must begin to wake up. I am doing something on my platform. I am doing something as well as talking about the right that people must reject Islam and Christianity. I'm also letting people know their rights in their local language. What you see before you here is a book that I've translated. It's a Nigerian constitution. Many of you following me, you would have probably seen me with that before. And with this constitution, I've taken key sections of it, of the Nigerian constitution, and translated it into Yoruba language. The aim of this is to reach 30 to 60 million Yoruba speaking people in Nigeria, so they know their rights. Many people, not just in Nigeria, many Africans know the Quran, they know the Bible, but they don't know their rights in their own local language. And that is a danger to their development. This religion, the religion has been used to underdevelop Africa. The religion has been used. That is a book I wrote. I translated this book. This is a book I wrote. I translated. It's the Nigeria. I've taken key sections of the Nigerian Constitution, and it is written in English. So I have translated it from English into Yoruba. So, for example, in the Nigerian Constitution, you won't know this, but I'll say it anyway. In the Nigerian Constitution, it states that Section 14.2a states sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. That's what it says in the constitution. But a Yoruba person, an Igbo man, a Hausa man, a Middle Belt, a person from Tiv community, they have no idea what sovereignty means because it's in English. But now, this is what I've done. In Yoruba language, I have translated that very particular section, and it goes something like this. Ìjọba jẹ́ ti àwọn ènìyàn Nàìjíríà láti ọ̀dọ̀ oníṣèjọba nípasẹ̀ òfin orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ń gba gbogbo agbára àti àṣẹ rẹ̀. Now, the people in the villages in Yoruba land, they understand what I have just said. In over 30 years since we've had this constitution, since 1999, yeah, 1909, 19, well, come to soon 20, it's 24 years now, 24, 26 years, or 25 years. In over 25 years, nobody has translated that constitution so that the people would know their rights. But they have translated the Bible and the Quran, and it's kept the people in the dark. And the clerics have been brainwashed to believe that what the Quran says is the law. Now, there is a section in the Nigerian constitution here that states that no religion, section 10 of the Nigerian constitution states, no religion shall be adopted as state religion, which means in Yoruba, ìjọba ti federation tàbí ìpínlẹ̀ kò ní gba ẹ̀sìn èyíkéyìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀sìn ìpínlẹ̀, which again is a translation of that of the powers that people have. Now, so our people in Africa know about the Bible and the Quran, which does nothing for them. It doesn't improve their lives. It does not improve their, it doesn't help them get water, or roads, or bridges, or healthcare, or safety, or security. Religion doesn't do anything to improve the lives of the people on the African continent. It keeps them in darkness. It keeps them enslaved. It prevents them from benefiting from their resources. So we are calling on everybody now to please, and I'm calling particularly to President Tinubu and all other African leaders. We need to ban these religions of Islam and Christianity, because on the one hand, Christian Islam really brainwashes people, and it's about denying people their right to their resources in their land, abducting, killing, and all of that stuff, which is horrible. Now, Christianity keeps telling people to go and get the kingdom. You will blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the heaven. It's a brainwashing. It is preparing the people to accept that, to say, oh, they don't deserve to have the resource, to enjoy the benefit from the resources beneath their feet, that they should look to some God in the sky to help them when they have everything. We have everything that we need in Africa. There is nothing that we need from outside Africa. Everything that Africans need is in Africa. We have the gold, we have the diamond, we have the bitumen, we have the oil, we have the gas, we have the, you name it, we have the lithium, we have everything that we need. But what has been done? We've been given books, religious books that we don't need. We have no need for those books because our land is so, we are so resource endowed. We are so, the Most High, our ancestors and our Maker has made, our land is what people around the world are fighting over because they know the resources that we have. And they want to get those resources. And they want to keep our people in the dark. So I'm looking at this. This is a horrifying picture, honestly. And it just, there's a video I'm looking at. There's another video I'm looking at here, where there are people just lying, bodies upon bodies upon bodies upon bodies are lying on the floor. And they have been killed by these terrorists. So unless we put a stop to the brainwashing being done by the religions of Islam and Christianity on the African continent, the development of Africa will be held back for another 50 to 100 years, maybe even more. So we need books like this, where the people, not only in Nigeria, in all parts of Africa, we need our constitution in our local languages, so the people in the villages and the communities will know their rights. This, the religions of Islam and Christianity is blocking the people from knowing their rights. It's occupying their minds with nonsense. It is reducing our people to a state of inertia. Our people are begging for food when they've got fish in the sea next to them. They've got land. They've got gold. They're begging. They're looking up in the sky because they have been programmed through these religions of Islam and Christianity to believe that they have nothing. So we need to break this cycle. So I, for one, I'm saying unapologetically, I'm calling on President Tinubu that those people who are in government, that today an imam or whatever, a cleric, some Jigrin or whatever it's called him from Plateau, was saying that it's Muslim, that we have to, the Muslim are going to be leading this country. If that is what they're going to say, in Yoruba land, we don't want Sharia law. Just like Ibrahim Traore has said. Ibrahim Traore is a Muslim man. He does not want Sharia law because he knows that Sharia law has been destructive. Let me see if I can play that video for you. Let me see if I can play that video. If I can find the video and play it for you. Now, let's listen to this. So, we are currently taking stock. Some Arab countries where people are learning something. The latest statistics show that 800 or something looked at the poster. Nobody seems to know their release, what they're doing. The embassy. So Sharia law that they talk about so much in Africa. In Saudi Arabia, the people who brought this Sharia law, they don't even know it themselves. The people are not practicing Sharia law in Saudi Arabia. So if they are not practicing Sharia law in Saudi Arabia, why should we be practicing it? That's what it's saying. Let's carry on. The embassy that are there are not aware of them. They don't know the Sharia law. You see? They don't learn Sharia law in Saudi Arabia. They don't learn Sharia law. That is what Ibrahim Traore is saying. So if Saudi Arabia, who owns this, are not learning Sharia law, why are we being forced as Africans to learn something that is foreign to us and being imposed on us? This is an imposition. This is an imposition. So, none of the 800 people who showed me the list are learning a single trade. You see? Yeah, this is why we should go on up. So, and yet they want to apply Sharia law in Africa. So we are saying this as a matter of urgency, that Islam is a threat to the development of Africa. Christianity is a threat to the development of Africa because it is filling the minds of the people with things that they don't need. The people need to know that they have the power to hold their government accountable. But when you are putting religion before the government, the people believe that the religion has more power than the government, and they never ever learn to hold their government accountable. They just believe in prayers. No prayer will fix your road. You actually have to know that you have the power to hold your government accountable, that you are the sovereign, that you have the power to call them to a town hall meeting. They need to explain to you how much money they received for fixing your road, how much they spent, who are the contractors, what's the balance, all of this in your local language. This is what we're trying to do here. We're trying to break this cycle of poverty in a land of plenty. We're trying to break the cycle of poverty in the land of plenty. Africa is the land of plenty. Whatever you want in terms of resources is in Africa. 30% of the land, arable land in the world is in Africa, over 30%. We have untold mineral resources. We have the fastest growing population in the entire world is in Africa. There is nothing that we need from outside of Africa. There is nothing that we need from outside of Africa. Everything that we need in Africa is there. But the religions of Islam and Christianity has been put in place to occupy the minds of Africans and control them, so that those who want to keep us on our knees continue to exploit our resources. Let us listen on to what he's saying. You see? C'est pour que la phase importante est devant nous. Ces gens-là, je vais les faire revenir. So he's saying that people, if you are an African, you will no longer be allowed to go. If you're from Burkina Faso, you won't be allowed to go to Burkina Faso, to Saudi Arabia to learn Sharia law. And if you do, you will stay there. You will not be coming back to Burkina Faso. And that is right. And he's a Muslim. So listen. So he said he's going to bring these people back. They're not going to be teaching what they've learned in Saudi Arabia. He said if they want to stay in Saudi Arabia, then they can stay. But they are not going to come back and be teaching this Sharia law in Burkina Faso. And that is what is very important. He is a Muslim, keep in mind. Ibrahim Traore is a Muslim. And he's saying this knowing fully well that a lot of people will go, but you're a Muslim. But he's understood that Sharia law is destructive to the development of Africans on the African continent. Because what Sharia law has been doing, it's been, like I said, it's the strictest form of Islam. We Africans have nothing to do with it. We have our own spirituality. I'm a Yoruba person, and my connection, my divinity, the deity that I worship, that I now am confident, I'm happy to say, I worship Eshu. Now, in Christianity, in 1844, Christianity came and said to my people, millions of us, that Eshu is the same as Satan. That's evil. That is evil. So both religions have been intent on corrupting the minds of Africans so that they can control them and be taking the resources. And this is why I'm saying that the religion of Islam and Christianity must be flushed out. There's a man called E.O. Vidal. I have a picture of him, and I'll see if I can get that picture out. There's a man called E.O. Vidal. He used Bishop Ajayi Crowther. Bishop Ajayi Crowther was enslaved. E.O. Vidal was never enslaved. He was a bishop designated of Sierra Leone. And he forced Bishop Ajayi Crowther to write those words that Eshu equates to Satan. So I'm giving you that on both these religions of Islam and Christianity, they have been there to corrupt the mind of Africans and keep us from benefiting from our resources. We need to ban those religions from the African continent because they have brought us nothing but pain, misery, poverty, enslavement. Because don't forget, Pope Nicholas V, he wrote, he gave Europeans the right to go to Africa and enslave Africans on the African continent and make them work for the church. These are realities that we need to face. So I'm saying this so that Africans can understand that we cannot trust any religion on the African continent because it's not part of who we are. Those who are practicing it, if they want to practice it in Europe and in Saudi Arabia and in the Arab world, fine. But what it is, the religion of Islam and Christianity is a tool of oppression. It is a tool of oppression. Give me 1 second, please. The religion of Islam and Christianity are tools of oppression. They are there not to serve or to help the people to achieve peace in their land. It is to destroy them. And like I said, I'm looking at this picture here. And the video, there's bodies everywhere. So we are calling on the government. There are people in government. There are ministers. There are senators. There are House of Rep members who are supporting the destruction of their fellow citizens because they want their land. They want their resources. And it's not even for them. The colonials are using proxies in our land to cause chaos and destruction because of our resources on the African continent, in Nigeria in particular. So we are calling for the president to do the needful and to halt this bloodletting. There is a genocide going on in Nigeria right now. I kid you not. There's a genocide. And we must call it what it is. And those who are saying, a cleric was saying that Nigeria is a Muslim country. And if anybody doesn't want it, they can leave. If they don't accept it, they can leave. Let me read you the exact words. I want to read you the exact words he said. See? Now, it says, this is by a cleric, Jergin from Plateau. He said, Nigeria is a Muslim country. And if you don't want to accept a Muslim ticket, you should leave Nigeria because it belongs to us. Us as in, it belongs to the Muslims. Now, you are not, I keep telling those people, Islam does not count you. If you're a black person, you can never be equal to a Saudi person in Islam. You are an abid. You are an abid. You are a slave. To every Arab, you are a slave. You need to understand that as black people. Even if you are practicing the same religion, they see you as a slave. And we are coming to spread this message. Likewise, Christianity. You may say you're a Christian, but you are not the same. You are serving them. You are meant to serve them. The Church of England enslaved black people, and they haven't paid money back for that. In both cases, we're saying this so you understand as Africans that we must connect back to our ancestral belief systems. That's the way forward. Look at that. You see that? So he's saying that it's only a Muslim land. Now, quite apart from Christianity, and I don't agree with Christianity, and I do not want it on African soil because it has done since 1844. Let me get that book out, actually. E.O. Vidal. I want to get that book out. There's a book that I want you to know. So let me see. The book is called, not the Holy Bible. Not the Holy Bible. No. they've twisted this so much. I need you to see. I need you to see it. But I will do another program where I'll bring this up properly. But I wanted you to see. I want you to just hear some words. Hang on. Give me a minute. So give me a minute whilst I check this. Okay, so I've got some pictures here. There is a book that this guy wrote, A Vocabulary of the Yoruba Language. It was in that vocabulary of the Yoruba language, written in 1852, I believe, that they equated this E.O. Vidal, and I have a picture of the man. I will do a program. I have a picture of him, where he equated Satan with our issue. They have nothing in common whatsoever. Issue is a go-between between our Most High and the people. And if we serve him, he'll actually help you with trade. He will help you with good safety in your community. He will help you with childbirth. These are the powers of issue. But to term it as a satanic, it's horrible. And it is destructive till this day. Till this day, as I speak to you, it remains a destructive thing. Many people, thankfully, are now waking up and we are now reclaiming issue. I am an issue. I believe in my issue because it's my ancestral belief and I have a right to that. And nobody has a right to impose Christianity or Islam on me or my generations because it has done us disservice. It has lied. Anything that actually lies to you about and turns you against your belief system is a danger to yourself in the short, in the medium, and in the long term. And so it has proved in the case of Islam and Christianity. We need to reject this 100%. It has not helped African development. It has hindered our development. Before these religions came, Africa was developing. Africa was the first place, the longest earthworks in the world remains Benin Kingdom. That those who came, they saw the greatness of Benin Kingdom and they destroyed it. Thank you for the thumbs up. They destroyed it. They destroyed it. Anything of greatness that we've done on the African continent, they never tried to acknowledge. The first place about where you melt iron, I've seen it. I've said firsthand in Yoruba land. I've seen where we were the first to melt iron, to use, to make guns, to make whatever. And there's a process in which we do it. But yeah, we're being told, oh, you couldn't melt iron in Africa. These are brainwashing things. They've imposed this false religion on us, and we're being told to accept something that is clearly harmful to us. So, as Africans, I'm saying this now, we must begin to reconnect back to our ancestral spirituality. In African society, we had a system where people were safe in the community because they had deities. If you went and stole in a community, they could find out because they would put you would have to go and speak to a spiritual person, and they would ask you, did you steal? If you say no, did you steal? If you say no, the third time, they will now use it's kind of like a little thing that they do. Some of them use a broom. If that broom gets stuck around your neck, you stole. If it goes free, if it moves free, it means that you haven't. And what that did was the communities were built on trust. We built trust in our communities. With these religions of Islam and Christianity, there is no trust in our communities. It has destroyed untold communities across Africa. It continues to destroy till today. So, I'm stating this again. The Islam and Christianity are a double threat to the development of Africa. What they are preaching is actually reducing our people's mentality and mental capacity, ability to think for ourselves, ability to take control, ability to make sure to partake in our governance. These are things that we're here to expose. So Let me just go back into that thing again. And as you're watching me, please do subscribe. I really do appreciate you watching me. I know some people, it's fine, you can have a different opinion from me. I understand that. But we need to speak about this. And I'm calling, especially on President Tinubu, please, this is the time now. I understand that what is going on, and people don't understand what is going on. I understand, and some of us begin to understand. We understand that when you entered into government the first time now after Buhari, there was an agreement of some kind that was made that, okay, you will do this, okay, we will get you in, we will let you get in, you will get your foot, you serve. And now you come to the second time, they don't want you to continue. We understand, and it's all predicated on this Islamic nonsense, intent on turning people who are not Islamic into Islam by force, and under the guise of that, take their land from the people. That's what is going on. So we fully understand that President Tinubu, his hands are tied somewhat because of the agreement he has entered into initially. But now we are saying the killings of our people on a daily, I mean, the videos of people being children under Islam, women are being raped, children are being killed, you know, the whole society in Kwara State, over 30 villages have been ransacked. People have left those villages because of the threat of this Sharia law, gun waving and cutlass waving terrorists have gone and destroyed communities and chased people out of their community because of their resources. That's the reality. And that's why we're saying what we're saying, that we're calling on President Tinubu to mandate now whatever the equipment that they need now. There should be no room for terrorists in any forest in Nigeria. Sambisa forest. Sambisa forest. These people are in the Sambisa forest. And they are stealing our resources. Please, as you're coming in, don't forget, give us a thumbs up. Pin the message, subscribe to us on YouTube. Help us with more people. Thank you for the thumbs up, and thank you for you watching, for those of you watching thus far. But like I said, I'm looking at a picture here, and there are so many people. There are so many people on the floor that have been hacked to death. Whatever religion, if that religion is about taking the lives of the people who you are meant to be serving, that religion is not fit to be amongst us. It's not fit. There's bodies everywhere. I can't show you. There's bodies of people that they've caught. So, I mean, look at this. So we're saying this now. And let me just I'll pause this one. Everybody, as Africans, we owe it to ourselves now. This is not just about Nigeria alone. Ibrahim Traore has said it, and I'm so glad he spoke, because how we understand. Let me play this bit for you again. So. Si nous, c'est-à-dire vous-même les imams, vous ne pouvez pas former nos jeunes à l'islam, il faut laisser. He said, if you cannot educate our kids about what is right and wrong, without, then we cannot let you be, we must let it go. Islam is a threat to the development of Africa. The Sharia law that they've imposed is a threat to the development of Africa. And that is a fact. And that is what we salute. Again, I salute Ibrahim Traore for the courage that is shown. I say it over and over. Every single Nigerian should be a billionaire right now. The amount of resources, we have over 40 mineral resources in Nigeria. You've seen what they have in Burkina Faso. You see what he's doing. Look at the transformation in Burkina Faso right now. Because he's not allowing, he's saying that he's not going to allow Sharia law to supersede the law of the land. And a lot of people are afraid. Nigerian clerics are they are very frightened of Ibrahim Traore, because they know that once, the more he does this, the more they are under threat. They will not be able to keep whatever they've been stealing. They've been using religion to steal people's land, to chase people away from their land. The thief people have been chased off their land in large numbers by under the guise of Islam. Thief people have been chased off their land because of the resources in that land. We don't need the religion of Islam and Christianity on the African continent. And I say that unapologetically. We don't need it. So please, those of you watching me, please make sure this message gets to President Tinubu. The question, like I said, is that as Africans, we need to question. Anytime a religion is telling us that we have to follow what they're doing, we cannot question it, and they have the final say, then we are slaves in our own land to a religion that's meant to enslave our minds. Both Islam and Christianity is designed to enslave our minds on the African continent, and we need to totally 1000% reject it. It has to be rejected. Again, I call on President Tinubu. We need to ban these religions, and anybody, any government official found to have been sponsoring these terrorists, any politician found to have been sponsoring these terrorists, they must be, whether they're your friend or not, they have to be arrested, because the bloodletting. I'm seeing videos, horrible videos of people being killed. I understand President Tinubu, I understand what's been done, the agreement you've went into, but now we must make sure that regional devolution of powers takes place, because in Yoruba land, it's not just me, we categorically reject Sharia law. And you cannot impose Sharia law on people who have a different way of doing things. We don't need Sharia law in Yoruba land. We don't want it. We reject it, because we see what has been doing in Middle Belt. We see what has been doing in the North. And you're trying to bring it to us in the South. And we, Yoruba people, as a Yoruba person, in my own family, we have both Christian and Muslim people, part of our family. And we interact, no fight. But what this has been done, what they've done to bring in Sharia law, and nobody mentioned Sharia law. This Sharia law for thing is used as a way, as a cover to steal our land. We must reject it. As Yoruba people, we have a right to the land of our ancestors, and no Sharia or gun-wielding or knife-wielding person has the right to chase us off our land. We must defend ourselves. We have every right to defend ourselves on our land. So we are calling for the government to make sure the vigilante groups in southwestern Nigeria, southeastern Nigeria, and the Middle Belt, that they are equipped alongside with the army to confront the menace of this Sharia law. Because like Ibrahim Traore said, Sharia law is not fit to be within within Africa. It isn't. It's divisive, it's destructive, it prevents our development, because they're trying to take people back to Sharia law that they didn't even practice in Saudi Arabia. And that is a way to hold back our development. When somebody is trying to impose something on you that is foreign to you, that is enslavement. That is enslavement. So we are calling this out. Let's listen on a bit more to what Ibrahim Traore said here.
Ce n'est pas sur nous. Et je pense que vous pouvez. Et nous-mêmes, nous allons prendre en compte ces financements-là. Que ce soit des...
So the funding sources, like I said, what they have been doing in across Africa, Saudi Arabia, they have been funding, they've been giving scholarship. In return of that scholarship, they're teaching, they're brainwashing those clerics to start telling the people, no, if you don't follow what Allah said, you've gone against Allah, and we have a right, you have the right to do something with them, to kill people. You have the right because of your religion. And that is what Ibrahim Traore is rejecting. And it says here, the funding for young Catholics or for Islamic youth and whatever, they will be funded and trained inside Burkina Faso. They are no longer going to be allowed to go to Saudi Arabia. The same thing. Nigeria should be doing that. Every year, Nigeria spends billions of naira sending people to Saudi Arabia for Hajj and all of this stuff. And the damage that this religion is doing to the country is untold. Look, then I've lost count of how many people have been killed under this Sharia of a thing by these terrorists every year. Every year. President Tinubu, we call on you to listen and work with Ibrahim Traore now. You have to work with Ibrahim Traore because he's exposing something that has been hidden. Let's carry on. And he's a Muslim. He's a Muslim. Let's go.
Catholiques, les jeunes protestants, les jeunes femmes, nous-mêmes, on va trouver la formule, les traditionalistes, on va financer nous-mêmes tout ce qui est.
He said, we will find a way to train Muslims, Christians, and African traditionalists, spiritualists in Burkina Faso without having to leave the country. We should no longer allow any African to be going to this so-called Hajj, because what the Hajj is doing is brainwashing our people. We have to cut that link. We have to sever that link immediately. Immediately. And likewise to Rome. We need to sever. If Africa is to develop, we have to develop in-house. These religions are designed to hold back the development of Africa. The religions of Islam and Christianity are on the African continent. Their sole aim is to hold back the development of the African people on their continent, to be able to utilize their resources to benefit themselves, to improve their quality of life. And the religions of Islam and Christianity simply do not want that. And those who are using those tools, the colonials, both Arabs and the Europeans, they are only interested in subjugating Africans on the African continent. And we call this out. It is time now that you and I, as Africans, and those of you watching me, spread this message that Ibrahim Traore has led and is a visionary. And again, I salute the visionary president of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore, as well as General Assimi Goïta of Mali, and of course General Abdurrahman Chani of Niger. These are great visionary men that we must get behind, and they do not, and they are all Muslims. But it tells you something when a Muslim leader is saying he will not tolerate Sharia law in his country, and that must be the stance across the whole of Africa. Across the whole of Africa. Now let's carry on. Many people, you see these imams, and again he said it, many people are attracted because they receive money. The clerics are attracted to this religion because when they go to this to Saudi Arabia, they give them money to promote their religion, to promote Sharia law, to promote all of these things. And it causes death and destruction. And those who are promoting this death and destruction, they don't take any responsibility for the actions that they've instigated through this indoctrination. You see why we must ban, as a matter of urgency, across the whole of Africa, both Islam and Christianity has to be banned because it is holding back the development of Africa. There's genocide going on in Nigeria right now. Let me see other countries, but let me, before I go, and before I proceed with finding more information on that, let me just listen to Ibrahim Traore before I go ahead.
Ils font ce qu'ils ont à faire. On fait sortir les enfants, ils partent apprendre la charia, ils viennent appliquer la charia. Ils passent 5 ans, 7.
You see, he said it. He said they get scholarship, and they're targeting the young, and they'll send them to Hajj, brainwashing them. When they come back, they now start applying Sharia law, and that is what many of these bandits. This is what they've done. They're using Sharia law to corrupt their minds. Abubakar Gumi converted the Quran to Hausa. Now, in that conversion, How do we know that he's not corrupted deliberately to suit his ends? That the certain things have been twisted and put Wahhabism in there? How do we know? Because he supports Wahhabism. These are the things that we're saying. That Islam is being used as a tool, not only by the Arabs, but the colonial powers of UK, US, and France, to ensure that Africa does not develop. It's time we spoke up for ourselves. We can't keep allowing others to speak up for us. We must speak up for ourselves. We need to hold our governors accountable. Let me listen a bit more to what he said here. So you can see now that this thing of Sharia law, keep in mind, Ibrahim Traore is a Muslim. Kudos to him. He said, his words are, when Africans send our young men and children, and, adults to Saudi Arabia, we are sending them for indoctrination. Those are his words. And when you indoctrinate people to follow the strictest Wahhabism, they come and apply it on our soil. And they disregard the rule of law. The imam that was talking earlier on was saying, "Oh no, Islam is the one that's going to run everything on the country." Yet Nigeria is a secular nation, Section 10 state. No religion shall be adopted as state religion, and that's the very thing that this Islamic thing is doing, to make sure that we become an Islamic state. We reject it unequivocally. We totally reject this. So once again, I'm calling on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to please take urgent action now. Yes, I know he's doing some action, but we need more. Our forests. Let me go into the forest side. Let me just show you something. Simbisa Forest. Anytime you see terrorists go into a forest, there is something in that forest. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Simbisa Forest. Okay, let me just go and get this for you. Mineral resources in Simbisa Forest. Have a listen to this. Simbisa Forest in Borno State, Nigeria, contains reportedly deposits of crude oil, natural gas, precious soils, minerals like gold. You see that? So anywhere there are resources, that's where this religion goes. So you can tell that this religion is a scam. It is a scam. Why is it that villages where there are resources is where they go and they chase the people away? If you say you are religious. This is nothing to do with religious. It is greed. The religions of Islam and Christianity is about greed, especially on the African continent. Especially on the African continent. Especially on the African continent. I just read to you. There's gold. So what they're doing is those people in that community, they chase them away and they take the gold. And the gold, they can't process it. So guess what? They trade it for arms with the colonials. Greetings all. You're listening to Cisnewa, the platform where we speak truth to power. We're speaking about the need for Africa to rid itself of Islam and Christianity, because both religions are holding back the development of the people of Africa, the right of the people to benefit from their resources. Because under the guise of these religions, they're using it to cause wars, to cause instability, to cause famine, poverty, all of this to ensure that they continue to get our resources unfettered and unchecked and keep us impoverished in our land. We need to make this change. We have to be bold enough and follow what Ibrahim Traore just said. Let me play that bit more. 1 second, if I can find it for you. Here we go. See? You see, exactly. So I want you to, there's a bit he said something here, and I want you to listen to this. He said, through indoctrination, listen to this. He comes like he says that he has is that the other, this and the other. And then if you don't follow, because it's been so brainwashed it's been so brainwashed in Saudi Arabia. Now when he now comes home, that brainwashing carries on, and they start fighting the people at home. I know it more. You must. This is what they say. You know, this is insanity. To leave these religions intact, it is harming millions of Africans on the African continent on a daily basis. On a daily basis. And Ibrahim Traore, who's a Muslim, is exposing this. We cannot ignore this. The African Union is saying nothing. The ECOWAS is saying nothing, because they have been controlled. The African Union is owned by Europe. ECOWAS is owned by Europe. SADC is owned by Europe. We need total freedom. Freedom of expression, freedom of movement, freedom to decide what we do on the African continent, is to the exclusion of those who are outside of the continent. Let's carry on. He said, as a result, once they come back with this brainwashing, they will start applying to the people, and then the people will say no. And then before you know it, the followers will start unaliving people. I've seen Rebecca Samuels, who they said they told a lie about blasphemy, and they literally burnt her to death under this Sharia law of a thing. So it has damaged our society. It has damaged our society, and we need to take back what is ours. We must take back what is ours. This religion of Islam and Christianity is a threat to the development of Africa. No ifs, no buts. It is a direct threat, and it has been so. It has prevented Africa from moving forward for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years. We're stuck in the same spot. Well, now Ibrahim Traore has shown us, and we cannot ignore this. We must support it. We must advocate for exactly what it says. No state in Africa should have Sharia law, anything to do with Sharia law, because Sharia law is about causing death and destruction and fear. Put fear in the mind of people. Let's go ahead.
Jamais. Moi, je ne vais pas permettre ça. Non. Donc, ceux-là qui étaient là, et j'ai entendu des gens dire que non, et nous me soutenaient, c'est quoi. Si tu me soutenais à cause de ça, il ne faut même plus me soutenir.
I want you to let me listen to that bit again.
On nous a entretués. Et ils vont continuer à piller ce qu'ils doivent piller. Jamais. Moi, je ne vais pas permettre ça. Non. Donc, ceux-là qui étaient là, et j'ai entendu des gens dire que non, et nous me soutenaient.
So basically what he's saying is that because he's Christian, a Muslim, people say, oh, you cannot, you have to follow the word of... No, he's saying no, Sharia law will not be tolerated in Burkina Faso. You follow the law of the land. And he said, if you don't support me in this, you don't have to support me, you can go, leave, you know? So this is very important what we're saying here, and I hope many people take this on. I really am grateful for those of you who are giving us a thumbs up as you're coming in. I'm really, really grateful. I'll come back and do some more shows and more discussion about this, but I really wanted to make sure that we understand that as black people, there are a lot of information that has been hidden from us, and the Bible and the Quran are designed to keep you occupied so you never enjoy the benefit of your resources. It's as simple as that. They don't care about your soul. They only want your resources. That goes for both the Saudis and the Arabs and the Europeans. The European government, they only want your resources. Anyway, this is where I bring the broadcast to an end. I'm really grateful for you joining me. Please continue to give us a thumbs up. And if you do watch it back and leave comments. Let us hear from you. I want to thank Robot Edit. I want to thank Raptor Raptaha 3016. I want to thank who else? I'm trying to get something. I can't remember. Baby food eats. Thank you. And no the no doctor yet. Thank you very much for joining me. Please, as you're watching, don't forget to subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Click the link that is pinned. Share it to family and friends. Play it back. Let us hear from you. I'd love to hear your comments. But we have to be unequivocal about this. We are calling on President Tinubu to please immediately, as a matter of fact, urgency, to put an end to this killings by these clerics, instructing our people, the youth, to be violent and using arms to take people's land and all of that. We need to make sure that Nigeria puts an end to this stuff and stop, allowing this terrorists to abduct citizens that the government is meant to be serving. So, yeah, Tinubu, we speak to you directly and we appeal to you now. I know there's some agreements you've reached, detrimental stuff and all of that, but right now, our safety as a people, our land, must be non-negotiable. Yoruba land must be for Yoruba people. Igbo land must be for Igbo people. Tiv land must be for the Tiv people. Hausa land must be for the Hausa people. This use of religion to loot other people's land and then to try and say God, Allah is the will of Allah, is nonsense. No, this is an evil thing, and we are calling them out. We're saying to President Tinubu, please, now is the time now. We know you put some more funds to getting more soldiers and everything else. Perhaps look at getting them makeup of the NDA, even looking at how to, there are some things I don't want to say online, but there are things that we need to do now. We have to make sure that our army has got protection. We have to make sure that they're well equipped, and we have to make sure that any of our forests, no bandit is allowed to be there. Because in those forests, they are sitting on our resources, chasing people away, and our people are not benefiting from the resources underneath our feet. And enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. What are your thoughts on this? Please don't forget to subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube, hit the notification button, give us thumbs up, help us reach more people. What are your thoughts on what you just heard? I'd love to hear from you, and I will endeavor to answer as many of the comments that you make as possible. For now, I thank you all very much. You've been listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Thank you.